I never expected to be making a sequel to my saying goodbye in a pandemic video, but just 2 weeks after my sister passed on January 1st, 2021, my nephew Tim, her only son, passed away in his Arizona home. Tim did not die of COVID-19, but again, the pandemic prevented our families from being close during this time. I regret the trouble Tim and I had connecting by phone or internet in the days after his mother's death. I always thought I could talk to him after things settled a bit, but that time never came. Thank you for allowing me to celebrate Tim's life as I would have done if I had been allowed to travel. Tim loved the desert terrain of Arizona where he spent most of his life. I chose that terrain to celebrate him here. This is Deborah Nakamura. You're watching Heart of Japan. Tim was born like a prince into our family. He got some good looks from his maternal grandmother, as well as from his mother, who had been a model. He got his love of sports from his father, who had been a college football star. From the time Tim was in his mother's womb, I was hovering around like a tiny ant turned big sister. There was no ignoring this handsome little prince. We were close and spent our preschool days playing together and concocting schemes. His first dog was a Schnauzer that looked good, but in my opinion was the dumbest dog I'd ever seen. The dog barked at everything and regularly chewed up shoes and pillows, scattering the stuffing all over our yard. Being a cat lover myself, I had no patience with the need to walk a dog. The dog, like his master, was a prince, and his food was kept in the pantry on a special shelf. One day, our curiosity got the best of us, and we just had to taste the dry dog food. When the adults were out of sight, we quietly snuck into the pantry and sampled the colorful dog bones. I can say that was the first and last time I ate dog food. It was like dry, tasteless cardboard. Family times were so much fun with the cousins, my nephews, and a niece. The kids in our Ohio neighborhood were close and adventurous. Back then, we already knew that Black lives mattered. Our friends in our racially mixed neighborhood were very important to us, in spite of growing up during the days of the Kent State University protests and the mandatory integration of schools. However, I could have been a better role model for Tim since I was 3.5 years older. Tim, please forgive me for using you as my gopher or accomplice for some shady schemes. One day, all the aunts, uncles, and cousins were at our house, and I was feeling lonely and needed attention. I sent Tim inside to tell my mother that I was going to commit suicide while I climbed a tree and waited for her reaction. Mom came outside in a hurry and frantically called my name, "Deborah! Deborah!" Of course, I couldn't stand the terror in her voice and immediately came down from the tree and apologized. As I started making this video, I realized that 30 years later, I reaped what I sowed when one of our children left a suicide note on our kitchen counter in Japan to get out of doing homework. We went to the police and searched everywhere, finally finding our child playing in a nearby park. The little prince and I were quite a team with loads of imagination. We were so blessed with close and loving family connections. In our teen years, our family moved from Ohio to Arizona. Tim, sports was a big part of your life, and music was a big part of mine. You started your family and passed on your regal good looks to your son. I moved to Japan and started my family. My occasional visits from Japan were always good times together, but not long enough to recapture the closeness of our youth. Your construction work in the hot Arizona sun took its toll on your health as you transformed from your little prince good looks into a burly, mean machine. In the meantime, I moved from Japan to Washington State, where I encountered trees that refused to stay upright and roofs that refused to withstand attacks from trees. It would have been a good time to renew our relationship in a closer way, but I got busy. Forgive me for not remembering the good old days when we grew up like brother and sister. I cuddled my own grandchildren as they came one by one, but I failed to hear your heart's cry and remember the little prince that was still within the burly man. Please forgive me. Your rough and tough outside rarely revealed the soft heart you held within. Thank you for being so kind and selfless to your mother during her last days. You gave up your last bit of strength to care for her, and then quietly gave up your life. A day or so before you passed, you reportedly told a family member that you saw someone wrapped in light coming down your hallway. The family member said it was an angel. Then we got news that you had passed, so I think you must have had an angel escort. Cool. I will miss your jokes and your laughter. I'm proud of you for accepting Jesus as your Savior. You got your password to unlock the pearly gates, man. Remember that last scene from the movie, The Titanic? I picture you on the staircase while a whole crowd of people we know are clapping and welcoming you home. Welcome home, Tim. You truly were a prince. I'm glad to see you reunited with your royal family.